Okay, on this video, I'm just going to share a little bit more detail about how to calculate loan payments in Excel. And I'm going to show you a different way to do it. There are a whole bunch of ways you can do it, just a different way. And it'll help you to make decisions in the future about what kind of loan you want, how many years you want it to be, what interest rate, that type of thing. And it will also help you in your assignment for this week. So the amounts in red are the amounts that Excel needs to calculate your monthly payment on a loan. So let's say I've done my assignment, just like the videos suggest you do in the team page. On the team page of the assignment, there are videos that show you how to figure out what your costs will be to start up your lemonade business. So let's say I've done that, and my total that I need to start is $35,500. And so that's going to be my principal amount, or PV. And my yearly interest rate, I know you all live in different parts of the world, but you can just agree on a rate. Let's say you pick 5%. For this loan, I'm going to try to do it. My first calculation will be based on 1 year, the number of payments per year. Most places usually want you to pay your loans off every month. And so this would be 12 for 12 months a year. Some places allow you to do it quarterly, but most of them it's monthly. And then N per is my total number of payments. Now, obviously, I can look at this and I know it's 12, but I'm going to use a formula and I'm going to use cells, and I'll show you why later on. So I will write equals number of payments, click on that, times number of years, click on that, and push enter. And then periodic rate is where sometimes people get confused. This is the interest rate that is charged each time you make a payment. So it's not my yearly interest rate, it's my payment for each time. So I will do a formula again, equals my yearly interest rate divided by total number of payments per year. Enter. And you'll notice again that I'm using cells, and I'll show you why. Now I'm ready to figure out my payment. So I go up to the function area and I click on that. If you don't have payment in there, you can search PMT, or if you're doing a different language, just look up what the equivalent of these things are in your language. I know for Spanish it's pago, but anyway, so for English it's PMT. I click OK. And this is really great because it tells you exactly what things are. So as was said in the video before, in your lesson this week, the bold ones are the ones that we need to fill in. And rate, if you forget, it tells you down here. Rate is the interest rate per period for the loan. For example, use 6% divided by 4 for quarterly payments at 6% annual interest. So I could go right here and I could write 5% divided by number of payments a year, 12. And you'll notice this amount is the same that I calculated for my rate. But I'm not going to do that because later on I'm going to add more lines and I want this to calculate immediately. So instead I'm going to use cells. So I've calculated my periodic interest rate. I'm going to click on this cell, filled it in for me. N per is the total number of payments for the whole loan. I've already calculated that here. I'm going to click on it. PV is the present value, the total amount that a series of future payments is worth now. So the principal amount that you borrowed. Again, I'm going to click on this cell. So now I have all my information. I push OK. And there is the amount that I would pay each month for a $35,500 loan at 5%. Now you'll notice this is in parentheses and it's red. That means this amount is negative. And that makes sense because when you make a payment, you're taking money away from you, you're paying money. So if I want to figure out the total amount that my loan is, I'm going to times my payment by my total number of payments. So equals, I'm going to use cells again, my payment times my total number of payments, enter. So the amount I will be repaying will be $36,468. And to figure out exactly how much that is interest, I'm going to add the loan repayment total to my principal value. And you'll notice this is already negative. So if I add it, I'll come up with a negative number because the negative number is higher. And I'm going to use cells again. Equals this cell plus this cell. I end up paying $968 in interest. And my total interest monthly payment is going to be my interest times my number of payments. So equals this cell divided by total number of payments, enter. So there I've got some really great information. Let's say though that for me a $3,000 39 payment is really high, and I worry about my lemonade business being able to do that after a few months. I may not be able to do that because maybe I'm losing money at the beginning of the year or whatever reason. So the neat thing about using cells is I can just copy this, Control C, Control V, and I can change the information. So let's say my amount's still $35,500, my yearly interest rate is 5, but I want to try to do a 3-year loan. I push in 3 and enter, and Excel changes everything for me. It's so great because I put in cells and not numbers. And so here the rate is still the same, but now my payment is only $1,063 a month, $1,064 rounded, and my total loan repayment is $38,300. So I am paying quite a bit more interest. And so my monthly interest payment is close to the same, but total I'm paying more interest, but my monthly payment is lower. So those are things to consider when you're looking at a loan for your lemonade business, and especially when you're looking at a personal loan. So for example, let's copy this information again. Control C, Control V. And let's say that I needed a $35,000 500 loan for a house. And I decided I was going to save some money first and then only borrow $20,000 for my house. I've worked for years and I've saved money. And so even if it's still at 5% and it's for 3 years and there's 12 payments a year, my payment went from $1,064 a month to $599 a month. And that's because I saved beforehand. And look how much I'm paying less interest. I'm paying almost $1,240 less, $22 less interest. Sorry for my math there. And my interest payment is lower too. So definite advantages if you can save first and then have a lower loan amount. But I like setting it this way because for any loan you look at in the future, you can change different things. You can change the interest rate, you can change the years, you can change the principal amount and get an idea of how that would affect you in the future. I hope this was helpful.